Hello, Lewis. How would you introduce yourself? What do you do? Maybe you can share a few numbers, revenue, number of clients. How long have you been into B2B lead gen?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Eugene. My name is Luis Ortega. I'm from the Philippines. I own a lead generation agency called Excel Marketing. So we do the same basically. We send cold emails for a living, and then we just connect the clients to their buyers, and then we earn from it basically.
Maybe you can share from your experience what's the current tech stack you use right now to deliver results for your clients. High level overview tools for sending infrastructure.
Oh, you mean tech stack?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure. So for let's start on how I'm getting leads. So how I'm getting leads is by using Apollo as my main source of data. If we're going local, I also use Google Maps. As far as sources, that's pretty much all the main things you will need to be successful with it. If you want to scrape it, you can use Amplify, and Ample Leads is my main source. And then in terms of my infrastructure, I use Spaceship and Portman for my domains. And then I use reseller accounts for setting up my inboxes. So I use chip inboxes, premium inboxes. I also use scaled mail as my main source for Azure inboxes and SMTPs. And right now, I don't want to say the name because I've only tested it and to promote it out there. They might be not legit, but I'm also testing a couple of things outside of that just for uh, uh, comparison purposes for my deliverability. So you can now send the emails within those two. All you need is this sending tool, which I use is Email Bison. Email Bison has a private dedicated server behind it, and then there's unlimited workspace. We get charged by the amount of emails we send per month. It's not gonna be if you're watching this and you are not a cold email agency, it will not make sense for you. So it's still best for you to go to Smartly than Instantly. But for me and maybe for Eugene too, it might make sense too when you're scaling to 10, 20, 30 clients because it's gonna save you a lot of money when you switch. Yeah.
Um, how has been your experience with resellers? As I understand, you rely solely on resellers. I get, mixed reviews. Some people say they have no issues. Some other people say that, resellers are bad. Any advice, how you made it successful?
So one word would be diversification. And then in terms of my overall experience, it's it it's it definitely works. That's the thing. The only thing that's why I said diversification, and it's currently happening right now. Cold email is becoming a lot and lot harder. I would say diversification because on the times that where there could be issues along the way, you have to be prepared on your operations. So right now, the way we do it is we don't just trust with like a single provider, right? We have multiple providers, and then we're currently actively testing all new and new and new. If one vendor fails, I can just stick to them because they're really good. Their customer service is good. I mean, it's pure business at the end of the day. So that's my current strategy. I always prioritize diversification, especially when it comes to my clients for sure.
Uh, do you do anything specific regarding sending volume? How do you manage, sending risk? Because I heard some people say that if you use resellers, you mitigate the risks by sending lower volume. What's your approach?
Yeah. So here's my current sending volume as of September of 2025. So for let's start with Outlook Azure inboxes. So since I'm using ScaleMail for that, we only send 2 emails per inboxes, and it's been pretty good. It's a lot more expensive technically because I'm paying like $200 for like 99 inboxes is the current offer right now. And it's pretty good. You will see when because we currently have a deliverability process that me and my team review, and you will see that the Azure inboxes, even though it's only sending two, it's really getting replies. So that's the first thing. Let's start with proceeding next would be Google. So Google, our basic sending limit, if we don't have any data on an inbox, is and they're fully warmed up, is 10 emails per day. And then once I start seeing that it's above 4, maybe 5% reply rates, I try to increase it to 20, and it's been pretty good. So typically, when in Email Bison, I was able to see their total emails sent lifetime. So now you're able to see track as well. Okay, with out of 100 cents, how many replies did they get? And then that's the time where I decide to increase, should I decrease? So that's my current process. As far as SMTP goes, the current recommendation is 10 emails per day as well. Yeah.
And what's the total volume was the warm up?
With the warm up, actually, this is preset by Email Bison, so we don't really touch it. They have a huge warm up pool, and they don't recommend us to touch it. So, and I followed it, and pretty much been good. Yeah.
And they handle the initial warm up that you have to do after buying stuff, right? You don't really manage it right now.
Yep, yep. So basically, once you upload it, you still have to turn it on, and then but the sending volume is regularly updating. It will show as a status auto, but they don't really show you how much the email, what do you call this, like email warm up is sending daily. Yeah.
Yeah, recently I've heard a lot from people in the space about Email Bison. What made you switch to Email Bison? What did you use previously? How has been the experience? What do you think is the advantage? Maybe you have saw as any disadvantages. Just share your experience.
Sure. And just a disclaimer, I'm not promoting any email bison at any means here. Do you only? That's why I gave the disclaimer earlier. If you're not a cold email agency, it will not make sense for you. I swear, because right now, Smartly just get having a pretty good analytics when I last time I checked it. But the reason why it made me switch are a couple of things. So first is private IP infrastructure for each dedicated workspace. So that's the first thing. So that whenever I have new offers and it's fully warming up, I know that I can also tell from like a deliverability perspective if it's coming from the offer or is it a factor of the deliverability. It eliminates that. Plus, it doesn't charge me because you could create unlimited workspaces. You can just move inboxes around, and it also helps my offer internally because whenever I get leads, I run trial campaigns for them. So it it makes sense for me. Second thing would be the workspaces. Of course, that's the thing that I love the most because at the time that I was using Smart Lead heavily, they didn't have like the global analytics where they can select unlimited campaigns because my weekly reporting is getting having a nightmare when I'm doing the weekly reporting because I can only select five, and then you have to select multiple campaigns, and it's at scale it will be a lot, right? So my Fridays are the worst every Friday. So at that time, that's why I said when Smart Lead is now improving because now it's better. At that time, I was doing that, and then I guess I guess overall, the once I made the switch, the experience has been overall pretty good, and I never looked back. So, plus, I'll also compare what would my billing be if I were to stay to Smart Lead at that time, because at the third benefit why I'm choosing this is because I can always upload unlimited leads every time. So imagine, right? With Smart Lead, if I were to upload a 10,000 contacts campaign right now, I would have to upgrade for like a new tier or something, or would have to delete the old leads, which is bad because I need data before to look back and study, right? So the what made me switch as well is have like campaigns that has 9K, 10K validated people right now and not worry about it because it can run for like a month, right? So that's one benefit because we're still being charged by the email sends. So it just makes sense. Yeah, that was the last favorite that I have because right now, even for my clients, whenever we onboard clients, we're going to be setting them up for like 2 to 3 months already. So, and then optimize once we see, okay, campaign A is winning, let's double down on that. And then, yeah, couple of optimizations to get results for.
Amazing. Really curious. Very, very interesting to learn more about the experience with email buys, and the tool is becoming more and more popular. Regarding Apollo, and you said you scrape a lot of leads from Apollo. How do you? Is there any process you use to clean the leads? Because again, many people say that Apollo is great, the quality is fine, but some other people would say it's not as good as it could be. Is there anything specific you do to ensure the quality of the leads you get from Apollo?
Yeah. So currently I'm doing two things to have that. So I've just recently switched to their paid plan. I've been using Apollo, but I never went to their paid plan. That's pretty funny. But you know what? When I did though, I kind of have some benefits that gave me some advantage. First thing being, I'm now testing thing like a market segmentation is what you call when you're on a paid plan, and you can now select B2B and B2C. I've tried to test it out, and it works pretty good. It's a good starting filter for not so advanced cold email people. So if you're listening out there and you're not really a cold email agency, you're just looking to start sending it out, you should just go with a paid plan and just scrape it out because you can have much more filter advantage. So that's the first thing. But second thing would be I also use third party tools to enrich it, such things as Clay. I also use Lead Magic. So those are the current text that I use to in order to um, first get more data to it. So build a filter on Apollo. Make sure the filter you build on Apollo is legit by uploading it to Clay, asking it if it's B2B, what's their offer, and then you can use that now as an enrichment. You in the email copy that you're going to be sending to them. Yeah.
So you're not only getting more emails, but you're also verifying if the information is accurate through Clay. Any specific tool you use in Clay to verify that the lead is from the niche you're looking to outreach?
Yeah, so just for simple process, we're still validating and validating the catch-alls. For validation tools, I use Million Verifier, my main go-to. But previously, we've used a couple of other tools I've found on AppSumo. So we use BrandNam, we use Rion. It works pretty good. But right now, we decided to purchase in bulk in Million Verifier. So that's been really great. Validation for catch-alls. So right now, we've been using Enrichly as our main go-to for catch-all validations. But recently, we've made the switch. We're testing a new tool called Omni Verifier. I can say it now because I've been using them for over a month and a half now, and they've been pretty good. It works the same, but it's much much cheaper. I think I'm paying 59 for like 10,000 credits for Enrichly, and now I'm paying f- same thing 59, but 25,000 credits. So it's much double credits, and it works the same. So hey, why not? So I'm testing that out. Then that's the time where we upload it to Clay. Okay, verify it, and then see. Okay, I have to know if this company sells B2B service, etc. Yeah.
Very interesting. Um, how do you do the research, especially when you're starting an outreach for a new niche and you need to write a copy, you need to learn whom to target? How would you do such research?
Yo. Yeah. The best thing is just to do it like a normal person. So first Googling it, going to their website, or what I like to do is I've been recently uh creating YouTube videos on this on like I wanted to create this as a series. So where I will ask ChatGPT to give me a random niche, and then what I usually just do and just search on Google. Okay, commercial cleaning company in United States, and then I go to the first one, and then I treat them as my client. That's my practice, because what you usually find on their website, if they're legit and if they go to the top search of the Google, they're doing pretty good, because SEO will be fire if you have that search rank, right? So that's the first thing. Once I found a website, you usually find a list of case studies. That's a good sign that the company is good, doing good, because of course they're getting good reviews. Second thing would be, well, reading about what they do, because sometimes they do. Companies have a part where they show the services or about us, about company. Just try to read on what the current client or target is, for like what they can work with, what they don't work with, who are the previous clients, can we list them down, can we find similar companies to those previous clients. So those are my current thought process. And then that's the time where we, okay, this is the current things that I was able to found. Could we try something else, like that could still be a fit for them, and then uh that they haven't explored yet? That's a time where I give it to ChatGPT and then give me the ideation. But I'm talking in a client's perspective. That's the time where I pre-approve it to the client. Hey, this is what I found on your website. I'll do this, but what do you think of this? Approve, reject, boom. Then that's the time where you can get like a final variation of, or not variation, but final idea on how to map the whole town, and that's where you do the segmentation, etc. Yeah.
That's a very good advice. Thank you. Uh, I really respect that you truly have this, I would say, cold email spirit, because there's usually not much information available about cold email, and you have to come up with your own ideas. You have to be testing, being creative. And you mentioned several times that you've been, testing ideas on your own, trying to come up with new things yourself, which is very impressive. Um, anything Anything interesting you can share about the process of writing copy? How do you write a copy? How many emails you currently send in a sequence? Uh, you know, any structure you can mention?
How do I write the copy? Well, that so simple answer is we already have like a process behind it. Um, I have simplified it where, to a point where my team member can write the exact same way. I do this by feeding a GPT bot with all of the waiting copies that I have, and then this is gonna be funny, but you're part of the group where I'm gonna be mentioning my mentor. My mentor posted about everything about cold email, and then do's and don'ts. So what I did was, okay, turn this into a do's and don'ts instead, and then feeded that into ChatGPT. Now the checklist that our mentor is mentioning is now basically like a part of the process. The bot cannot create the copy um, without following those rules. So that's the thing. We have that. So now all I gotta do is be creative um with the output, of course. So that's where we add. Okay, this is the case studies that we have. This is an offer. I wanted to test this three call to actions. Let's do that and make it. If I want to do revisions, I don't like this angle, change it. So because usually we have three different angles that we're approaching, and then I try to read. Plus, I always ask, okay, are there any variables that would be worth personalizing? Because sometimes I'm not a fan of that huge. Of course, AI is coming, and then the personalized emails, and you have to be creative. But I'm not a fan of finding their mom's name and then mentioning on the email stuff without being too creative. I'm trying to get to the money, right? So how do you get to the money? By getting interested people. How do you get their attention? So as long as they click my email, I'm pretty much set. So I try to limit myself to one or two variables that I can enrich on Clay. It is usually the target market that they're going after. So, for example, Eugene, you're going to after SaaS companies. I can just have a variable on my email that says, "I know you work with SaaS companies. This is my offer. Want it or no?" So basically, like it's still personalized because oh, this guy did his research, but that's it. I don't have to be over personalizing and such, and it still works. I try to keep it simple because right now I'm approaching a point where I'm trying to build system that is repeatable at scale. So I want to productize it. I'm not going after the overly fashioned testing all the time. I want it to be repeatable and then applicable to any sort of clients. Okay, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are mostly on the side of being straight to the point, presenting your offer in the best way possible, and not going around with some fancy personalization when they're kind of not required.
Yeah.
Um, how many follow-ups do you send?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you. So,
No problem.
how many email sequences? Two. We only do two. So, and this is talking about huge stamp, by the way, because we still have clients where we're only sending to 2,000 contacts. That's their whole TAM because they're a local company. When you're a local company, you can typically target the same people over and over again. And the way if you're working with those sort of companies, it can still work. It's going to be a lot harder. That's for setting up the expectation. It's a lot harder, but we can do 4 to 5. So one day, first day, 3 days, 7 day, 3 days. That's it. So, but we're talking about the huge stamp. But in huge stamp, where you're sending to at least 50, 60,000 contacts for the whole target market. We only sent two. First email with three different sequences, and then a second email with 3 days after. Yeah, simple.
In case you have a small TAM, how often do you usually reuse the leads?
Every month. And also if we really have to, even 3 weeks would be fine. So I've heard this from other people in the cold email space, and it clearly makes sense. You never remember the last cold email you received from like few weeks ago, but there's a disclaimer to this because sometimes when you're reaching out to a local market specifically, of course they can remember you, especially I'll give you one example. We have one of our clients who works in the security industry. So we reach out to property managers and of buildings, communities, and reach out, hey, property manager, do you have security? Or we are security services, yes or no? Right. So and you kind of recognize them because you're reaching the same vendor of people is reaching out to you, bombarding you. So we kind of get recognized sometimes. So that's a disclaimer if your TAM is really low. Yeah,
Would you say you can sometimes, burn your audience if you reach out every 3 weeks? Do you still get results after a few iterations from the
of course,
same?
of course. So and the reason why I'm confidently saying it because one of our local clients is with us for like over since 2021. So that's like going 4 years now, or going 5 years next year, right? So and I can show you their calendar. They're legit. They're constantly booking calls because um they have a huge market, and they also have they're working with a like one state, Colorado, right? So you got Denver, Boulder, Aurora, Loveland. They got different parts of Colorado, and then we can always run it out and still be creative with it. Of course, the sending volume would be completely different from what we're used to, If I were to be frank with you, we're only sending 100 per day on their accounts, and we're doing fine. Right now, we're up to like 6 appointments for them for like the whole month. That's pretty good. Like, hey, September 16 right now, half of the month, 6 appointments for like 100. That's really good, right? We're like holding
That's
those
very
statistics.
impressive.
So yeah.
Okay. Uh, very interesting case study. Uh, how would you troubleshoot a campaign if it's not performing? Let's say you probably sometimes have a situation where you start a campaign and something is not working. How would you troubleshoot it?
This is the question that I haven't finalized yet. So I'm kind of like going from A, B, C, D different ways. I haven't created an SOP, but I already have something in mind. So first thing that I checked would be the volume of the, or not volume, but the bounce rate of the campaigns. Okay, how is the bounce rate? Um, is it more than 5%? Is it more than 3%? Things like that. And the second thing, okay, compared to you compare the bounce rate to the reply rate. Okay, is the reply rate below 1%? Okay, so the bounce rate is high, the reply rate is low. Now we compare it to other campaigns. Okay, how is the other campaigns? Is this the only campaign that's low performing, or is the other one? Because maybe, okay, I'm trying to find who to blame at this point. Do we blame the inboxes, or do we blame the copy, or do we blame the lead list? That's what you do. So now you compare it. Okay. Well, it seems that most of the campaigns have been getting low responses. Maybe your inbox is bad. Okay. But if you see that this is the only campaign that is low performing, maybe you had a bad lead list, right? Or bad email copy. So that's where we proceed. Once you figure that out, you can lay out like a plan. Okay, if this happens, you do the inbox placement test. Or what I usually do as well when it comes to inbox problems is once, because in email bison you have like a all time email sends and how many bounces they have. It's really easy for us to tell which ones are burned or not. And it's being third part, what do you call this, like it's fully integrated to like a inbox placement tool called email guard as well, because they have the same owner. So we have the easiest way to inbox placement test it at any time. So that's what we do. And then we like to lower the volume of inboxes that have 5% above um bounce rates, that has low reply rates. So there could be exceptions to it. If we're seeing 6-10% reply rate on a single inbox, and then it has 5% bounce rate, hey, send more, right? Because, well, it seems that you're just sending more because your reply rate is pretty good. So we don't have to decrease your sending. But if we see that, okay, reply rate is low, bounce rate is high, so we just decrease it to 1, keep sending for like 1 daily. And then 14 days later, we're going to try it again at 10, increase it. Okay, are you good now? We're trying to rest them up basically. Yeah.
Amazing. Very interesting. Very interesting that you do it step by step. You try to understand what's the root cause of the problem to isolate and then fix it. The last question for you, maybe you can give any specific cold email advice or a discovery you've made, something you find unique. Maybe you, I don't know, found out yourself. So anything that you think would be unique for the audience listening.
Yeah. I think this, let me give you actually two different versions, because with the first person, if you're another cold email agency owner and you're trying to watch this, I've been trying to expand more on omni channels recently. So we've been doing heavy cold calls recently, and it's been doing pretty well. Um, so that's another source of booking that you can do. So if I were to start over again, the best way is to ram the volume of cold call you can start immediately booking people with. Plus, if you don't have any case studies, just offer free trials, or just just get the results for them. So that's the first thing, because that way, I always say this. Um, it's like going to Costco or going to Target, right? If they have the you have a product or you have a service and they haven't tested it out yet. You got no reviews. So why would they buy you? I don't know your product. So the way you do it is by giving them free taste. Hey, this is my product. I'm confident that it works. You want to try it out? I'll give it for you for free. 14 days. I'll give you the results. And then if you like it, hey, why not proceed? And then once we do that, the my close rate is really, really high when I do this. And I'm talking about out of the all of the trials that I did, I'm talking about only, let's say, out of 10, I get only 2 people who don't close after we really deliver the results. So it has a high close rate, but it also it just means as well that if the client is going to be investing their time into the trial, that's a pretty good sign that they're going to sign up anyways. It's just that, hey, um, even if I don't have specific results on a specific niche, let's go with IT MSPs. If I decided to run trial for them, hey, this guy is investing time into my company. Hey, my recent sales call, you know what my client said, and they closed when before we start up the trial. He said to me, then why the heck would I not go with your trial? Then you're going to be investing 14 days into my company without being paid. You're confident like that? Oh yeah, and that's the best part. That's the irresistible offer. I said to him, because yeah. So as long as I'm confident and can deliver results, and yeah, that's pretty much all they need. They don't have to. That will eliminate the trust factor or authority, whatever it is. And once you show them real good results, which you're supposed to do anyways, um, they're going to trust you and they're going to close as your clients. Yeah.
Amazing advice. Yeah, we again and again come to the fundamental rule that basically, if you land in the primary inbox, if the deliverability is fine, then it just comes to offer in many cases. And if your offer is good enough that they cannot say no, then you would be successful. Last thing for the audience listening, how can people find more about you? What link should I add in the description? Maybe your website, any social media?
Sure. If you want to learn more about cold email, I also have a YouTube channel. It's Luis Ortega. If you want to connect with me personally, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search Luis Ortega. It has a pretty good looking face with a profile on it. You'll see me, of course. And then lastly, if you want to work with my B2B lead generation company, just go to our website, excellomarketing.com. Plus, but if you're a cold email agency owner and you're looking for like communities as well, Eugene met me on Grow B2B, so I recommend you guys join us in the community. You will see us there asking a lot of questions. I always enjoy when Eugene is asking the questions because he's always prepared with the list. So shout out to Eugene.
Really appreciate. All the links would be in the description. Luis, thank you for your time. That was amazing.